What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 1 of Park to Prem here with Nottingham Forest. Today, we're leaving Lincoln. Yes, the final chapter of Lincoln City has also been uploaded at the same time as this video, and well, you'll know if you watch that video, a job offer has been accepted at Nottingham Forest. And today we're going to get our feet under the table as the newly crowned Nottingham Forest manager before taking on our former club Lincoln City in just a few days' time. You can see here we're leaving. WorkTheSpace has left Lincoln to join divisional rivals Nottingham Forest. Questions raised as to why. Money. Money is the answer. And a few other things. You can see here Ryan Shawcross, Peter Crouch, Jonathan Woodgate, and a whole host of other names are going to be joining us on our merry way. And well, hopefully we're going to be able to turn Nottingham Forest around. Of course, a fallen giant in real life, a team that won back-to-back Champions Leagues. And well, in this save game last season, they were relegated from the Premier League with only a single win. Despite that, they didn't sack their manager right away. They didn't get rid of Chris Hughton right away. But after a sloppy start to the season, which if we just look at the league table, sees them languishing down in 19th, we've been given the nod, we've been given the job, and I mean 3 wins in 14, simply put, is not good enough. And well, I will be looking to rebuild a little bit, I imagine. You can see here the finances at the club are absolutely insane for a championship side. So much money to spend, so much excess wage budget as well. The team spent 3 years in the Premier League kind of collecting TV money without actually spending all that much of it. So as a result, we've got cash to roll around in. And, well, I think it's only right that to begin with, we get familiar with the team and, well, meet our captain, which is Damani Grimes, who is 21 years old, so a very young captain at the team. He is a consistent 21-year-old English centre-back with international youth experience. And I'm going to be frank, he looks absolutely insane. Maybe his marking and positioning and tackling could do with being a little better, but he looks nutty. He looks so good, like the kind of player we really need to build around. He's got a 3-year deal at the club, although there is a minimum release clause. That is something we're going to have to be wary of. I think there's going to be a few players like that. Their key player, incidentally, as well, is another regen. Now, considering we're only 7 years into the save game, like most regens are, you know, still the youngsters. We're not to that point where you look at regens and they're in their mid to late 20s. And actually, looking at Adrian Smith here, he is our key player, but he's also listed as a wonder kid who is himself is only 20 years old. So between Adrian Smith and Damani Grimes, we've got 2 really good young English players to hopefully build around. You can see here, he looks really good. He looks like a top quality box-to-box midfielder maybe. I really like his physicals, although defensively, maybe a few questions to be asked. And, well, I'm looking actually at the last played starting 11 here. They've got Callum Wilson up front. He's got 2 goals in 14, and Callum Wilson is a lethal striker in Football Manager, make no mistake. But he is losing all of his physicals, and he is definitely one of those players that leans on those quite a bit. He's also on £57,000 a week. Where does that put him in the standings? So he is the second highest earner behind Fabio Carvalho, who, I'm going to be frank, he doesn't look that good. Is that a harsh assessment? 24 years old, natural right attacking mid? Maybe centre attacking mid? I mean, there's not much yellow there. There's not many 14s there for a player who is on £61,000 a week and valued at 18 million. Has he got a release clause? He has. 24 million. No one has triggered it. Would he be a player I look to sell? Potentially, to be honest. If we just sort by ability, we've got a few players here. Carl Stokes is a 21-year-old goalkeeper. He looks really good. He's the Republic of international goalkeeper. Fantastic stash as well, which you love to see. And we've also got John Hegarty here on loan from Arsenal. He looks like a really good centre-back. So already I'm thinking this guy and Damani Grimes, they are our 2 centre-backs for this year. They look way too good for the kind of championship, to be honest. We've also got here Alex Myton, who looks like he's, well, spent his whole career here at Nottingham Forest. He looks really good. He can play a load of positions naturally. It's weird, actually. Despite his low finishing, I'm actually wondering if he could be a striking option for us, because I did have a look at the team before we took the job. And, well, you can see Sigros is out on loan, so we'll just move him to the under-23s for now. The simple fact of the matter is the team has scored not many goals. 10 goals scored so far this league season. That is absolutely atrocious. So we need to get goals from somewhere. And looking at our striking options, we've actually got a few. So we've got Callum Wilson, who's played a lot of the games. Adrian Smith has also, got the potential to play as a more attacking option, but there's no real out-and-out strikers. We've got here Kamala, who's not been given a chance yet. He doesn't look too bad, to be honest. Samake, he looks really good, actually. At 22, he looks top quality. He might be a man to give a chance to, because he's had chances on off the bench without really shining. You can see here, there are some players that have been in absolutely atrocious form. So with that in mind, I think there is going to be a degree of rotation needed. But I don't know, early opinions of the team, it doesn't seem that bad. It seems like a team that is massively underperforming and has a lot of quality. And we've got the money to spend as well. I noticed we've not seen any full-backs yet. Do we have right-backs and left-backs? We've got Hackett, who looks like a left wing-back. He's okay, he's 22 years old. He can maybe do a job for us, although I'm not blown away. Compared to our right-back options, and sorry, not our right-back options, our centre-back options, he's not really shining. Ben Johnson looks like he's been the starting right-back this year with 8 appearances. He looks okay. He actually looks like he could be more of a centre-back to me. I'm already thinking maybe a free at the back, everyone. Would that be too bold to go with a free at the back to reinvent the team completely? They were previously playing a 4-3-3. And, well, frankly, it's not been working. So maybe we do need to try something a little bit different. You can see Hackett and Johnson actually both starting either side, and Hegarty and Grimes, who we've already mentioned, starting either side at centre-back. Rodak is actually the guy starting in goal for them. Wow, okay, he's really good. He's probably better than Stokes, and he's 29. He looks really good. Right, well, hopefully you can start making some saves, Rodak. I mean, earlier thoughts on this team are, it looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a sort through of the team ahead of the game against Lincoln. And we're just going to throw ourselves headfirst into it. First game of the year against our former club. It's going to be spicy. We're going to have to sort out our team a little bit. It'll be interesting as well to see how they line up against us. And, well, with that all in mind, I'm going to join you in a couple of days, get my feet under the table, unpack my desk, and, yeah, hopefully we're going to demolish Lincoln as we head back already to Sincil Bank. Okay, folks, so we are back to take on Lincoln City, and first and foremost, get used to this site. I mean, it doesn't feel that different, does it, the club profile screen? We've still got the Lincoln City red, but of course it is the new City Ground image, the City Ground capacity of 30,000 seats, and you might see the system here and think, Jack, is this how we're going to line up today? We're just going to copy what the previous manager did. Of course we're not. We're going to go back to how we played at Lincoln, actually, when we first took over. But this isn't actually my long-term plan for the club. In terms of the team itself, the back four is kind of what I thought it was going to be. I found Healy kicking around in the team. This guy looks absolutely nuts. Like, if you open up a dictionary and search deep line playmaker, it's just a picture of him. He looks really, really good. So I have to get him into the team somehow. And I think alongside Longstaff, who we've also got on the team, they're going to be a really good midfield duo for us. Then we've got Mighton out on the left, Smith down the middle, Carvalho on the right, and then Samake down the middle. The man who has a bit of a point to prove, I think. Now, this is how I'm going to line up for today's first game, but as I said, it's not what I would like to do longer term. Longer term, I quite like the idea of playing something like this, playing a 3-5-2. This may involve playing Hackett at centre-back, it may not. Between Hackett and Johnson, we've got two players who play the full-back positions, but can also play centre-back, and they're both really, really quick. And whilst Ben Johnson's got a little bit of a learning curve to get through, I do really like the idea of playing a three at the back like this, with two faster, flanking full-backs who also play centre-back, and then just playing Damani Grimes down the middle. I did contemplate a libero, everyone. It did cross my mind. For now, we're not going to do that. But who knows, with time it might change. In terms of the midfield trio is actually the same. It's Healy, Longstaff and Smith. But then we'd play Carvalho out on the right wing. He's not the most incredible of right wingers, but actually he's surprisingly okay defensively. 11 positioning, 8 marking, 7 tackling. I'm not going to claim it's the greatest thing in the world, but I think as part of a 5-man midfield with a 3 at the back behind, it could work. And then Sigaros, who we've got out on loan at Cincinnati, I also think could be a pretty good defensive kind of wide midfielder. Now, whether or not I'd play them as wingers or defensive wingers remains to be seen. And, well, he's on loan for now. There's a few gaps to fill in with the team, but this feels like it could be a pretty cool way to go, a pretty cool direction that's not worlds away from where we're at. But there are a few critical pieces missing that mean, to start our leadership here at the club, it is going to have to be the 4-2-3-1. And it's going to be a bit weird, this one, because we're taking on Lincoln City, who I've just left, and I have no idea if they're going to keep the same system going. You can see here, Steve Crutzen is their manager. I did take a peek over at their club. They've got a load of weird first-team players transfer listed. Aidan Fitzpatrick, instantly transfer listed. Ellis Sims, instantly transfer listed. Teddy Jenks, transfer listed. Herbie Kane, and Tom Bayliss as well. I don't know what's going on over there. It's going to be interesting to see what the AI does with our team and if they can keep our run of form going. And well, I guess their first test for us is going to be against Nottingham Forest. Anyway, if we just look at the club vision before we get into today's game, club culture-wise, play attacking football, develop players using the club's youth system, sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. I mean, they're all quite nice visions. Sometimes you take over a club and there's all these philosophies that don't really line up with how you want to play Football Manager. These ones definitely line up with how I want to play. You can see here the expectations for this year are to get to the top half of the Championship, reach the FA Cup fourth round, and the EFL Cup. They're not worried about. I think we're already out of it, to be honest. You can also see next year they want us to get promoted. So this is a 2-season project here in the Championship. I think a top half finish is more than attainable. Right now, we are only 5 points off that. We have the quality in our team. We have the money to spend. I feel like that is certainly within reach. I have also already been starting some early transfer business, shall we say. If we just look here, I've set up all our assignments. We've got players being scouted on the go. I'm not messing around here, everyone. We are getting going early with the scouting and recruitment. I want to bring in some of my own players. And one such player that might well be on the way in, although I'm not 100% decided yet, is Glenn Mackay from Celtic. This guy is 18 years old, played a couple of games in the Champions League. He looks very, very good. The only downside really is that he's inconsistent. But if I am going to play the free at the back system, I may need a left midfielder that's a little bit better than Seagross. And I think that Glenn Mackay could be that man. Naturally a striker, but can play out on the left-hand side of the midfield. You can see here as a winger, whilst not being the quickest player, at 18, he looks really, really good. And defensively, does he have it in his locker? I feel like 10 passing, 7 marking, 7 tackling. It's workable, especially for a player who's only 18. If that deal is to happen, it is going to come at a cost of about, I don't know, a decent chunk of our wage budget and transfer budget. Although you'll see here, I've been kind of juggling the budgets around. Originally, the wage budget was higher, the transfer budget was lower. We're now in a situation where we've got £62 million to spend. I would like to believe that we can spend that money in January and with some good additions, maybe challenge for the playoffs this year. I feel like that's not that unrealistic or an aim. But for now, we need to get off to a good start. We need to get off to a winning start. This is the team that I think is going to do it for us. Players to keep an eye out on today. Adrian Smith playing centre attacking mid. Definitely a player worth keeping an eye on. Healy, I'm a bit of a fan of this guy. He just looks like a really good deep line playmaker. And also, I would say Samake playing down the middle. Naturally a right winger, but I think he can really do a job as an advanced forward playing forward. His mentals are lacking a little, but what he lacks in that, he more than makes up for in his physicals. And we need to get goals from somewhere. That has been the big issue here at Nottingham Forest. They have not been scoring enough. They have not been creating enough. Let's see if we can turn around their fortunes in our very first game in charge. This is going to be a big one. Of course, over the next few episodes, we'll get to know the team. We'll get to know the squad. And, figure out who's who, I suppose, of Nottingham Forest. Looking at their team here, they're playing a pretty standard defence. They're playing Cottrell and Green in midfield, it seems, than Coughlin. I think they're playing a different system to what I was playing at the club. Also, Amadou Diop, who's the youngster I brought in from PSG, who was chilling in the under-23s, they're throwing straight into the first team. Man, I don't want to, criticise the Lincoln manager too much, especially because we could end up losing this game, and then all my criticisms are kind of invalid. But yeah, ruining my Lincoln City legacy, changing the team drastically. Let's see if we can get an early, I want to say some early revenge. It's not really revenge. If anything, I'm the baddie. Anyway, Johnson whips it in. Myton heads it on. I mean, it's offside. It's been disallowed. Was it a push in the back? I was well happy there. For a second, 30 seconds into my debut, I was having a great time. Unfortunately, it was offside. I mean, if that's given on the striker for us, I don't think he's interfering. I don't even think he's offside. I think that wrong decision, referee. You can see Lincoln, by the way, playing a 4-4-2. And coming with his iconic kicking going forward. It feels weird cheering for a different team. Samake, go on, lad. Go on, lad. Oh, Cumming makes a save. Really want Samake to get a goal today. He's had a handful of appearances on off the bench, not really shone. I'm not a fan of Callum Wilson, aged 34. Sorry, Callum. It's just the truth. So with that in mind, I really want to see Samake have an impact. And, well, he has another chance here. He's using his pace and he's getting through. Unfortunately, the one-on-ones at the end of it all just aren't being converted. But we've got a chance here. Longstaff whips it in. Grimes is there. Damani. Captain Damani. I mean, it's just very catchy as a name, isn't it? Damani Grimes. Just sounds fantastic. Gets a header on it. Unfortunately, couldn't get it goalwards. And, well, we've got another highlight here. 20 minutes gone. It's all highlights, everyone. Myton, Longstaff. Myton again hits it. Let's go, Alex. Left winger, American. A player who I may end up playing as a striker when and if we switch to the 3-5-2. He's playing out on the left today. He's had an awful start to the season. So to see him score there is great to see. Longstaff with the ball inside. Myton, difficult angle. Coming, maybe question marks to be asked of him. Maybe he's listening to me shout, thinking that he's playing for Nottingham Forest or something. Either way, we take the lead in this game, 1-0, and it's been complete control. This is what Nottingham Forest should have been achieving under Chris Hughton. You know, relegated from the Premier League, taking on a team who, yes, Lincoln City are doing fine, but let's be frank, we were overperforming as them. They're a team that really just need to focus on avoiding relegation, and we are just showing superior class. Myton, he's through again. Cumming holds on to it this time. But it is chance after chance after chance. And I do have to question the Lincoln City changing system. Grimes with a huge header. Myton's going forward again. Go on, my son. Go on, my son, Alex Myton. The American strikes twice. He's more than doubled his tally for the season now. And frankly, for Lincoln City, it's embarrassing. They should have just offered me more money to stay. Open up your checkbook. Give me the 100 million. I mean, the most mad thing really is the fact that I am getting paid here at Nottingham Forest £13,000 a week. I think that is more than double, or close to double, what any player at Lincoln City is earning. Also, I'd like to issue an apology to the Bigioni fan club, because your boy is up front today, but he's not doing anything. Samake, he's through again. He's through again, coming this time to the rescue. We are just carving open this Lincoln City defence again and again and again. It's like we've got a can opener. Do you know, opening up their defence. It's delightful. Healy to Smith. Lovely build-up play. Healy pulling all the strings from deep. Johnson with it. Down the line to Carvalho. He's got the pace. Can he get inside? He doesn't need to. He crosses it back to Wilson Samake. And I know I'm meant to feel bad. I know I should probably feel a shred of remorse or regret or something. I'm enjoying this. It makes me feel better about what we achieved at Lincoln. It makes me optimistic for the future here at Forest. This 4-2-3-1 is working wonders. And, well, two players who simply put weren't given opportunities, weren't firing on all cylinders under Chris Hughton, we've got going in this game. We have been by far and away the better team. Lincoln City have just not turned up. I'm going to tell the players I'm very happy. More performances like this, please, lads. And, well, a win here would climb us up the league quite significantly. Big ball forward to Bigioni. For a second, I was thinking that we were Lincoln. I'm having to get over that in a weird way. Just looking at the game, sometimes I'm thinking I'm Lincoln manager. Samake! Wilson Samake. Not given a chance. Stuck out on the right wing. I've seen something in him that makes me think he's our boy. He's our striker. Also nice to see Smith get on with an assist. And, well, Bigioni's given away the ball. The fan club, they're in shambles. This ball here, oh my word. That pass by Smith is absolutely unreal. The run is superb. We've got two players on hat-tricks. I would love to know if this situation happened in real life. What would be the reaction of the Lincoln fans? Like, how much would I be getting booed here? How much would I be considered a baddie? Especially as we spank them. I guess it would depend on how much I celebrate. Healy to Longstaff. Go on, battle my son. Coughlin with it. One of the few players in the team who I said, maybe I could find a role for him at Nottingham Forest. To be honest, discovering that we have Healy at deep line playmaker makes you feel like Coughlin isn't really needed. Either way, Cabango wins the header, but we're bringing it forward again. Myton to Samake. The pace to get in behind again and again and again is punishing. Wilson Samake with a hat-trick. It's 5-0 after 54 minutes. Oh my word, that ball through by Myton was superb, but the finish, he gave the keeper the eyes. The keeper just stands rooted to the spot. I think it was it Cabango or I think it was that Cabango? It was Cabango, caught completely out of position. That finish there is dirty. Cummings just sat in a state of confusion. He doesn't know what's just happened to him. Going to just encourage the players. We are all over them, looking really, really good here. It's probably a good opportunity to make some subs and change things up. Let's take off Carvalho. I'm going to bring in Chris Willis. Now, Chris Willis, you might remember him. He was on loan at Lincoln City last year from Nottingham Forest. So another familiar name coming back into the team. And I'm also... Am I going to make any more... You know what? I'm not going to make any more changes. I feel like we've played so well. I don't think any of the players who are currently on the pitch deserve to be taken off. Anyway, Hughes throwing it inside. Longstaff heads it away only as far as Herbie Kane. Tries to play it inside, but Grimes reads it. Gets it away, Damani as well. No nonsense from our captain. Lopez to Cabango. He's trying to get it forward. It's to Grimes, who punts it forward to Samake. He wants 4. Can he get 4? It's saved once. It's not going to be saved again. It is 6-0. I feel awful, but I'm enjoying it at the same time. Oh my word. The ball through there is superb. Samake just finding acres of space, using that pace that he is so used to using on the wing. He's got 4 goals as a striker. I feel like a genius. I've spotted him in the dressing room. I've gone, you're not a winger, you're a striker. And he's actually shown it within 2 days of us coming in. I'm going to shout demand more to the players. Come on, give me some more, lads. I want 7. I want 7. Hughes with a throw in here. I'll tell you what, we are catching them on the break from set pieces like this one. Samake, could you get 5? Probably not. Although Myton wants a hat-trick. Give it to Myton. Give it to Alex. He's gone alone. The blood's gone to his head. He's had a sugar rush there. He's thought he can do it all. You can't, mate. You can't, I'm afraid to say. Anyway, Tazzato, considering I spent 4 million on him, he looked pretty bang average today, hasn't he? He's not really been at the races for Lincoln. Although I think that applies to pretty much the entire Lincoln squad. Cottrell to Lopez. Longstaff can't get there. Twine with it. Lopez hits it. I mean, Joel Lopez, I can't even be mad. What an insane goal that is by him. The left back. Didn't have that in his locker when he played for us. Yeah, no, that's enough. I wanted the clean sheet, but I can't really be mad. What an insane finish this is. Twine back to Lopez. Hits it first time on his weaker foot. Okay then, Joel. Okay then, mate. But unfortunately, it is only going to be a consolation. 6-1. It finishes. The iconic green suit. It's got some magical properties to it. What an insane start that is to our reign at Nottingham Forest. What an insane return to Lincoln City. On the one hand, I feel a little bit bad. On the other hand, it was very fun to watch, wasn't it? Samake looked absolutely top draw. Superb by him. We were by far and away the better team, and hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Hopefully we can put in performances like that one. You can see here, Samake got 4 goals to his name. If we just look at his tactical kind of development, you can see here he's been subbed on in a few different positions on the wings. Today we've stuck him up front and he scored 4 goals in his first appearance there. I feel like that bodes pretty well for the future. Hopefully he's going to keep that going. Hopefully that's not him peaking early. Also, Alex Myton got a few assists. Oh, got 1 assist, got a goal or 2 as well. He looked really good. As you may have seen with the kind of, if I just go back to it, the system that I would like to play soon. It's interesting to note that Myton and Samake, the 2 men on the score sheet that game, they're the 2 I would like to play up front alongside one another. So that in itself kind of bodes quite well, I feel like, for the potential 4-2-3-1 plan that I do have in my head. But either way, that is, well, the start of things here at Nottingham Forest. What a superb win to open up the season. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Hopefully we're going to be able to start chasing down the playoff pack. They're currently 12 points ahead of us, but we're only 15 games into the season. There's still another 31 games remaining. There is so much football left to be played. And, well, with a result like the one we've just had, I have to be optimistic for what's to come. In terms of when we're going to be back, I'm not entirely sure yet. We may come back some point in December, maybe late November, although I'm thinking slightly later into things. We'll have to see how we're going and who we're competing up against. Derby County, of course, is a derby game in itself at the end of December. Maybe that could be a pretty good one to come back for. By that point, we will have had 10 league games to get to grips with things and hopefully be turning around our season's fortunes. Either way, folks, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. I hope you've enjoyed this first episode here at Nottingham Forest. If you have, make sure to drop a like on it. We'll be back again tomorrow with episode number 2 here at our new club. And well, until then, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.